It doesn't matter that 20 doctors have told you it's all in your head. I got news for you. It's actually all in your gut. So I used to be 70 pounds overweight, and I was running 30 miles a week. I was going to the gym 1 hour every day and eating a healthy, low-fat vegetarian diet, and no matter what I did, I couldn't lose weight.
Then Dr. Gundry discovered a remarkable scientific breakthrough that changed everything.
I attribute almost all of my weight loss to the addition of one thing that I did to my diet.
Tell me if this sounds familiar. When you were a kid, you had tons of energy. You rarely experienced digestive pain, and you could eat whatever you wanted without gaining fat. But as you've gotten older, it feels like something in your body has changed. You may experience digestive issues like bloating or constipation, cravings for sugar and carbs,
Skin rashes, breakouts, or redness, poor immune systems, frequent colds, headaches and brain fog,
excessive fatigue, weight gain, especially around the belly, and low mood or feeling like you're in a funk. And if you've talked to your doctor about it, they probably told you there's nothing actually wrong with you. Oh, they may suggest cutting back on fast food or exercising more. But what if I told you it was all lies? What if I told you there was something wrong inside you? And even more shocking, that it's not your fault. My name is Dr. Stephen Gundry, and I've made this brand new video presentation for two reasons. First, to tell you that you, like me, may be suffering from what researchers are now calling leaky gut, a problem lurking deep inside you that
could be the root cause of your low energy, digestive discomfort, brain fog, food cravings, weight gain, and even skin issues.
And the second reason I made this video
is to tell you how you can fix it. Because there's not only hope for a solution, there's now clinical research proving this dangerous condition is real, and even better, a method to stop it for good. That means dramatically improved energy, fewer food cravings, inches vanishing from your waistline, the end of digestive discomfort, and best of all, restoring the healthy body you used to have, both inside and out. I've seen this incredible transformation in thousands, yes, thousands of people who have all regained their health in ways they never thought was possible. But the first person I tried this simple solution on was me. You see, for decades I thought I was doing everything right. I was eating a healthy diet. After all, I'm a heart surgeon. I rarely ate fast food. I consumed low-fat dairy and whole grains. I ran 30 miles a week and worked out at the gym daily. Despite all this, I was 70 pounds overweight with high blood pressure, migraine headaches, arthritis, high cholesterol, and insulin resistance. I kept asking myself, if I'm doing everything right, why is this happening to me? If you're watching this video, you too probably know that something isn't right, but you don't know what. Maybe you simply can't take control of your raging appetite or cravings for certain foods. Low carb, low fat, paleo, low glycemic, and the other diets haven't helped and weren't sustainable. Or after initial success, the lost weight quickly came back. The same goes for jogging, speed walking, weight training, aerobics, CrossFit, yoga, spinning, or whichever exercise program you've tried to get rid of those stubborn pounds, only to see them not work out in the end. If this sounds familiar, I wouldn't be surprised if you've also been dealing with the frustration of digestive issues, headaches, aching joints, or morning stiffness. Some people also experience adult acne, brain fog, or a major lack of energy or a host of other conditions you just can't shake. You may feel that somehow you're at fault for your poor health or your excess pounds, making you feel guilty or even ashamed. If it's any comfort, you're not alone, and I'm here to tell you it is not your fault. And all those annoying symptoms are about to change. I'm going to tell you exactly what's been going wrong inside you. It's something almost nobody is aware of yet. Not even a room full of doctors I was invited to speak to at Harvard. I'll tell you this story in a minute, and you're not going to believe how unaware some of these so-called Ivy League folks really are. I'm also going to tell you how I've helped thousands of people deal with these very same issues you've been suffering from. I want you to feel what they feel. The end of painful digestive issues. The end of uncontrollable food cravings that lead to weight gain. All those unexplained skin, mood, and health issues vanishing in a matter of weeks. And best of all, I want you to be brimming with energy again. The kind of energy you had when you were young. and the kind of energy my patients and I have found once again, even at age 60 and beyond. But first, repeat after me. I am not to blame. That's right, these problems are not your fault. There is a solution to what ails you, but please prepare to have all your assumptions about what you thought was healthy turned on their head. In fact, some of what I'm about to tell you is going to fly directly in the face of what many doctors believe. So how can I be so certain about this issue plaguing millions of Americans and the simple, proven way you can fix it? Well, let me tell you about my medical background and how I discovered this shocking health solution, one that most doctors are completely in the dark about. Again, my name is Dr. Stephen Gundry, and I'm a cardiothoracic surgeon and celebrated nutritionist living in Palm Springs and Santa Barbara, California. I graduated with honors from Yale University and received my medical doctorate from the Medical College of Georgia. I spent 16 years as a professor of surgery and pediatrics and chairman of cardiothoracic surgery at the world-famous Loma Linda University School of Medicine. Along with my former partner, Leonard Bailey, I perform more infant and pediatric heart transplants than any other doctor in the world. I'm the inventor of the Gundry retrograde cardioplegia cannula, one of the most widely used devices to keep the human heart alive during open heart surgery. I was one of the original 20 surgeons who tested the world's first artificial heart and one of the first to use robots in surgery. I've seen thousands of patients with a spectrum of health issues, including cardiovascular disease, cancer, autoimmune conditions, diabetes, and obesity. But you may know me better from my appearances on shows such as Dr. Oz or interviews on news channels across America, or my online videos on health and wellness, which have over 50 million views. And according to my colleagues, this video is my most important video to date. I'm also the personal physician for legendary self-help guru Tony Robbins, who was kind enough to recently say, Dr. Gundry is one of America's greatest and most knowledgeable physicians, and for years I've had the good fortune to benefit from his care. Why do Tony Robbins, Fortune 500 executives, and thousands of other Americans come to me for help? The answer is simple, because I'm willing to tackle medical issues that nobody else can fix. People come to me when they've been everywhere, Harvard, the Mayo Clinic, Princeton, UCLA, and they still can't find answers, because I'm not afraid to try solutions that go against the grain. In fact, in my experience, many health professionals are often behind on the latest research and in some cases actually doing more harm than good. And that's why, after 16 years as chief of heart surgery, I left my position at Loma Linda University School of Medicine. Why did I do it? Why would a successful doctor leave a prestigious career and turn his back on conventional medicine? Well, the reason may shock you. I realized that much of what I had learned, much of what we were telling patients was flat out wrong. Specifically, my research showed that many of the conditions I was treating, weight gain, poor circulation, deteriorating health, heart issues, even mental decline, they were all starting in a place nobody was talking about, the gut. At first, it seems hard to believe that some, if not most, of the health issues we experience start in our digestive tract. And it can be fixed there too. But take it from me, someone who has now spent decades researching, studying, and testing solutions in this field, most health problems you face in life can be traced back to your gut. And if you suffer from digestive issues, fatigue, skin problems, aching in joints, low mood, headaches and brain fog, or just a feeling that you're in a funk, but you're not sure why, you may be suffering from what I and other researchers now refer to as leaky gut. Now you're probably wondering, what is leaky gut? How are all these different health issues related? And what do they have to do with my digestive tract? Well, get ready, because I'm about to explain everything. Leaky gut is a term used to describe a simple problem with a devastating result, that the lining of your digestive tract may be leaky, allowing dangerous toxins to sneak into your body and wreak havoc on virtually every aspect of your health. Here's a simple way to understand leaky gut. When you eat some delicious food, it travels through your body along your digestive tract. Along the way, that food gets broken down in your stomach, and the good stuff gets absorbed into your system to provide you with nutrients and energy you need to survive. And the bad stuff, the junk like bacteria, toxins, and things that are dangerous to you, get processed and, well, you get rid of them when you go to the bathroom. It's our body's beautiful, natural system for making sure you get the most out of food, while easily and efficiently getting rid of the bad stuff. And for the most part, your body is designed pretty well. But here's the problem. Your digestive tract is very long. Amazingly, if you could take it out and look at it, your GI tract would have the same square footage as an entire tennis court. And yet, despite being this large, it's very thin. In fact, the lining of your digestive tract is only 1 cell thick. It's the thinnest thing that you can imagine. Now, here's what's cool about your body. Even though the lining of your digestive tract is razor thin, these cells are really tough. You can think of them like a line of Secret Service agents, locking arms, making sure nobody bad can break through your gut wall. And for the most part, nobody does break through. But here's the bad part. Thanks to new research by myself and others, we now know there's one dangerous thing that not only can break through, it's actually really good at destroying your gut lining. They're called lectins. If you've seen my other videos, you may have heard me discuss lectins before, but I have new information on lectins that's sending shockwaves through the medical community, which is why this is the most important video I've ever made. You see, lectins are tiny little proteins found in certain kinds of foods that are not supposed to be in your body. One famous type of lectin you may have heard of is gluten, but that's just one type. There's actually many found in various plants. Some common foods containing lectins are whole grain wheat, eggplants, and tomatoes. Many people have been told these are health foods, but in my opinion, they are anything but, because your ancestors didn't eat any of these so-called health foods. You see, tomatoes and eggplants weren't introduced to Western civilization until 1492, when Christopher Columbus discovered them in the New World and brought them back to Europe. Of course, he had no idea that they were packed with lectins, or the impact that they could have on human GI tracts, which had never been exposed to these foreign foods before. In the case of whole grain wheat, humans have been eating it for a while longer, since farming began about 10,000 years ago. But even then, most societies historically removed the dark wheat husk and instead ate white bread, which is not a coincidence, because it's in the dark husk that gut-destroying lectins are contained. However, since about 1950, the use of whole wheat health foods have skyrocketed in our society, as well as other lectin-rich foods. Do you know what else has happened since 1950? The obesity rate has more than tripled. The diabetes rate has skyrocketed 800%. An astounding 70% of Americans are now considered overweight or obese, and I was one of them. As a heart surgeon, I simply couldn't get my mind around it. How could Americans, with the best medical technology in the world, the richest economy, a gym on every corner, and an abundance of health foods on every grocery store aisle, be this sick and getting worse every year? Well, believe me, there is an answer. And there is a way to lose that weight, restore your energy, and fix the nagging health problems that are robbing you of your joy. A way to look and feel fantastic again, the way you should. And it all starts with these lectins. You see, the nasty little lectins in these foods are experts at breaking the interlocked arms of those Secret Service cells in your gut. And when they break those cells protecting your gut wall, they don't just bust through your digestive tract. They leave a hole in the protective gut lining, meaning other bad stuff can now get through too. This, in short, is what we call leaky gut, lectins making holes in your digestive lining. And I wish I could say that that's where it ends, but actually, it's only the beginning of the problem. You see, once you've got leaky gut, other bad guys can storm through your weakened gut lining too. And the worst of these bad guys are what we call lipopolysaccharides, also known as endotoxins. Endotoxins are little pieces of bacteria. This is going to sound gross, but you need to hear this. On a chemical level, they're actually microscopic pieces of poop. There are about 5 pounds of them in your gut, and the Secret Service agents in your cells are supposed to keep them out. But once you've got leaky gut, these endotoxins see the hole and barge through it. And when they do, watch out. These endotoxins storm across your entire body like an invading horde. If these endotoxins get into your joints, they can cause aches and pain. If they get into your skin, they can cause itchiness, redness, acne, and rashes. If they get into your upper GI tract, they can cause heartburn and indigestion. If they get into your blood, they can even cause septic shock. If they get into your heart tissues, they can cause the kind of deadly health issues I've spent my entire career trying to prevent, including heart disease and even death. And do you know the worst part? To your brain, all these terrible things are perceived as attacks on your body, the same as if you have a virus. So your brain goes on high alert to threat level red to stop these attacks, sending healing cells to fix the problem, which you can do for a while. But your brain just can't stay on threat level red all day, every day. Pretty soon, the cells that protect your brain from endotoxins start to wear down. And when these glial cells in your brain are strained too hard, they actually cause your brain cells to die. I probably don't have to tell you what happens when brain cells start to die. Headaches, brain fog, and losing your mental sharpness are just the first signs of damage. But if these toxins are left to rampage through your body for months or even years, the damage can be far, far worse. If the thought of these health issues keep you up at night, believe me, I'm right there with you. So, you can see why I now say leaky gut isn't just some small issue that causes digestive discomfort. It may actually be a root cause of many, many of the issues that plague us, both physical and mental. And it all comes down to these evil, vicious endotoxins sneaking through your gut lining and wreaking havoc on your entire body. This is the shocking breakthrough that first made me realize my career was about to take a major turn. And once I realized what was really causing the problems I was seeing in so many people, I knew I had a new mission in life. Not to continue performing heart transplants and coronary bypass surgery, which is very important work, but really just a last resort, and an extremely painful and expensive option at that. No, I realized I could do the most good as a doctor if I could help people before they got to that point, by tackling their health problems where they start, in the gut. That's why I left Loma Linda University Medical Center and founded the Center for Restorative Medicine in Palm Springs, California, based on my new theory that many of these issues originated in the gut, and that it was in the gut we must fight them. I began to see incredible changes in people suffering from leaky gut. Elena J. was 67 years old and had suffered from severe heartburn most of her adult life. She also experienced constant belly aches, weakness, and fatigue, and had a low protein level. A biopsy revealed she had lesions on her esophagus. After starting my program, her heartburn vanished almost immediately, and her stomach stopped hurting. When she had her esophagus scoped the next year, the damage had been completely 100% reversed. 76-year-old Jennifer Yu came to me suffering from chronic achy joints and elevated immune activation markers. She could barely make a fist, let alone walk, without her joints crying out in pain. After trying my simple program, the achy joints and flare-ups were gone, not in years or months, but in a matter of weeks. And what exactly was I doing to restore these people's health? Well, here's the basics. I simply stopped using all the medical techniques that had failed and relied on a natural, proven system that helped the body function the way it is meant to. I had people stop eating foods that were disrupting their digestive tract and causing leaky gut. For the most part, these are foods that our ancestors never ate, such as whole grains, beans, and other foods that contain tons of lectins. Amazingly, many of these foods are touted as healthy, when in fact they are actually wreaking havoc inside your gut. I also have people stop taking non-prescription and OTC medications containing chemicals that destroy their gut lining, including antacids, painkillers, and all those over-the-counter anti-inflammatories. These things might help out for an hour or two, but they also make those holes in your gut bigger, leading to even worse symptoms of fatigue, indigestion, constipation, headaches, body aches, and the other symptoms of leaky gut. Incredibly, I could see the exact effects this program had on people because I tested their blood every 3 months for the entire time they were under my care. Using the most advanced testing methods available, I tested every single person for 12 separate markers of immune system activation, essentially to see if these endotoxins were putting their bodies on high alert. If your doctor hasn't given you this test, don't be upset with them. I'm one of only a handful of doctors in the country allowed to run these expensive tests at the top labs in the world, the Mayo Clinic, the Cleveland Clinic, Berkeley, and others. And thanks to Medicare and insurance, I was able to run these incredible tests at little or no cost, so I made sure to give them to everybody. When the results came back, I could see exactly what foods were making a difference and which ones were not. One woman, Laura, was suffering from fatigue, weight gain, and joint aches all over her body. She also had terrible digestive discomfort and bloating. She'd been everywhere, and no one could help. Of course, as you can probably tell by now, she had all the signs of leaky gut. I told her what simple foods and harmful over-the-counter medicines to cut out, and which helpful supplements to add to her diet. We quickly healed the real cause of her problems, her leaky gut. With her gut lining repaired and toxins no longer sneaking into her body, the nerves in her joints stopped screaming for help because the high alert was over. She also lost a massive amount of weight. Her digestive issues went away, and she got back to being the healthy, happy, beautiful person she always knew she could be. Really, it's as simple as that. Well, after years of helping thousands of people just like Laura, I knew I was ready to present my findings to the world. In May of 2013, I presented the results of my multi-year study on the effect of repairing the gut wall on the flexibility of blood vessels to the American Heart Association, and the conference was stunned. My simple changes had created a 72% decrease in endothelial dysfunction, a precise way of looking at whether endotoxins were getting past the gut wall. The doctors were amazed. That's a massive, massive improvement in blood vessel function. Not only that, but I saw the markers for cardiovascular health improve in 100% of the participants. Yes, you heard that right. Every single person had experienced a massive health boost, and I had ironclad data to prove it. Well, I can tell you after years of trying to get the attention of the medical community on the true causes of so many health problems, it was fantastic to finally be spreading the word. I've since been invited to speak at virtually every prestigious institution in the world. In fact, I was at Harvard this year, where I spoke to a room full of the nation's top doctors. Now, I mean no offense to these Ivy League guys. I went to Yale myself. but you would be amazed at how a room full of smart people can actually be so misinformed. You see, the speakers were discussing a very serious topic, brain health. And one of these researchers had discovered a link to a type of cell I told you about earlier, the glial cells in your brain. Because of my expertise on this subject, I'd been invited to speak as well. These researchers realized that when glial cells get activated, there's a direct correlation with the start of cognitive problems. And I was glad to hear that that was their finding, because it's totally true, as my own research had confirmed. But here's the thing, when I asked them what was causing these glial cells to go on high alert, not one of them had an answer. And even worse, they didn't care, because the real purpose of this conference was to discover new drugs. One, to cover up the symptoms that these malfunctioning brain cells were causing. I almost shouted, but shouldn't we be trying to fix the thing that causes these cells to go on high alert instead of just hiding the symptoms? But my pleas fell on deaf ears. Sadly, the drugs they were hoping to develop could be a billion-dollar industry. Telling people to eat healthy, on the other hand, doesn't make anybody a dime. Well, I left that conference upset, but not surprised. I knew I had to do something to reach more people. Not just the thousands of people I'd seen in my practice, but tens of thousands, perhaps even millions. Every man, woman, and child who was suffering from fatigue, weight gain, brain fog, deterioration of mental focus, and digestive issues, and had no idea why. After all, there's people hurting all over America and the world, and realistically, I just can't meet them all. So I began writing a book detailing my research and experience, and talking about all the real-world people I'd helped over the years. Because my theory is based on the danger of lectins in plants which can both heal us but also harm us, I called the book The Plant Paradox. When it was done, I wasn't sure if anybody would read it, but I knew if I could help even one person suffering with leaky gut, it would be worth it. Well, the book was released in April of 2017. As of this writing, it's been on the top 10 of the New York Times bestseller list for 7 straight weeks, with no signs of slowing down. We've reached hundreds of thousands of people who are finally getting relief from weight gain, fatigue, digestive discomfort, and body pains. People who are elated to finally understand what was wrong in their body after so many doctors told them it was nothing. The Plant Paradox has been a blessing to so many, and we didn't spend a nickel on advertising. It was all word of mouth from the people I had helped, their families, their friends, and anyone who had seen the life-changing transformations this health plan can provide. And I couldn't be happier. In fact, there was really only one thing holding me back from total joy at the changes we were making. And that's because no matter how important a book you write, let's face it, not everyone has time to read it. Believe me, I'm the same way. I have a stack of books on my reading list, and it's hard to know which ones to read first, especially if you're busy with work and family, which so many of us are. And nobody should have to suffer with excess weight, digestive issues, fatigue, and poor health just because they don't have time to read one book. So, I began researching every nutrient, protein, and enzyme I could get my hands on, hoping to find ones that could help to naturally boost the strength of the digestive tract and stop those dreaded gut leaks. Well, I can tell you there are literally thousands of ingredients to test, and sadly, most of them do nothing. For a while, the work was so daunting, I almost felt like giving up, but we kept at it. And soon, I discovered a handful of ingredients that gave people the relief they were praying for. We started with 3 ingredients. Their names are L-glutamine, N-acetyl-D-glucosamine, and licorice root extract. These ingredients all are proven to soothe irritated gut lining, and they work great, helping people experience less fatigue, fewer aches and pains, and supporting the weight loss efforts they'd been struggling to achieve. But I knew the results could be better, so we kept going. Within 6 months, I had 15 ingredients that were giving people even more control of their health and producing gut improvements unlike anything I'd ever seen from supplements. I was thrilled, but I knew we could still do better. That's when we stumbled upon Pepsin GI. Pepsin GI is a brand new compound, a combination of zinc and L-carnosine, 2 gut hero ingredients shown not only to soothe the gut lining, but actually help your body repair damaged tissue. Incredibly, that means this discovery was not only helping to prevent new holes in the gut, but actually could help the body fix the existing holes and stop endotoxins from getting in. As good as the early research on Pepsin GI was, I'm a stickler for hard data. So I insisted we put Pepsin GI through a double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trial. 258 people were recruited who were suffering with heartburn, bloating, gas, diarrhea, and constipation. The telltale signs of leaky gut. Well, after 8 weeks, I looked at the data. I was flat out shocked. Using just Pepsin GI alone, 92% of users reported improvement in heartburn, bloating, gas, diarrhea, and constipation. Yes, over 9 out of 10 users saw improvement from this one ingredient alone. It's all thanks to these potent ingredients, which work because of what I call the 3-pronged defense. These lines of defense do 3 things to stop leaky gut. Number 1, help your body repair the damaged gut walls so no endotoxins can sneak in. Number 2, help absorb dangerous lectins. Number 3, rebalance friendly bacteria to protect you in the future. Let me quickly explain these one by one. Number 1, helping your gut. Total Restore is revolutionary because it contains ingredients proven to soothe and boost the lining of your gut wall. The first is L-glutamine, an amino acid that not only soothes the lining of your gut wall, but actually helps to reduce food cravings and helps control body weight. Over 24 studies have recently shown that licorice root can help the lining of your gut wall. And a 2011 double-blind placebo-controlled study showed licorice root can help relieve symptoms of heartburn and acid reflux. And marshmallow root, which is not the puffy candy you eat around the campfire, but the actual root it's made from, is well known for its ability to coat and soothe the mucous membranes, including the holes in your gut. It does this by forming a protective layer around the holes where lectins like to sneak in. Think of this root as body armor that your Secret Service agents wear to make their locked arms even stronger. And it's terrific for people suffering from itchy skin, redness, or breakouts. But the greatest gut hero is the one I told you about earlier, Pepsin GI. You see, Pepsin GI contains zinc, which has been shown in actual human users to not just improve, but actually help your body seal and restore the holes that cause leaky gut. That's what makes this formula so impressive. You see, most leaky gut treatments and over-the-counter gut products only help soothe the gut lining, which is like having a leaky boat and only getting more buckets to help bail water. You can't really solve the problem unless you not only get rid of the water, but patch up the holes. Then your boat is seaworthy again and ready to set sail. And that's exactly what Total Restore does. It gives you an ironclad gut lining, which is like going from an old pontoon with a hole in it to a supercharged speedboat. And when your body is working as it should, you will feel the difference immediately. For many of us, we've been feeling worse and worse for years, but it happens so slowly, we barely notice the fatigue, the hunger, the aches and pains. It just becomes the new normal. But once you tackle leaky gut and start seeing unhealthy cravings disappear, your energy comes surging back. Your body begins to rapidly transform. You'll say what I did when I finally rid myself of the symptoms of leaky gut. I'd forgotten what it's like to look and feel this good, and I never want to go back. And that's why, even after we help restore the gut lining, there's still more we can do to help stop leaky gut from coming back. And that brings me to our second line of defense. Number 2, help absorb dangerous lectins. Remember our Secret Service agents who lock arms and protect your gut lining? And remember how lectins are experts at barging through and making holes in this chain? So step 2 is to absorb lectins in your gut before they reach the line of Secret Service agents. We do this with something called N-acetyl-D-glucosamine. You may have heard of glucosamine before, or even taken it. It has several health benefits, including relieving discomfort and improving joint health, which various studies prove it does very well. Unfortunately, the glucosamine you buy in stores is pretty low quality, which is why the store-bought kind is so poor at absorbing lectins. And acetyl-D-glucosamine. You can think of regular glucosamine as a cheap clunker of a car, and our high-grade version as a Porsche. And this high-grade glucosamine acts like a sponge that's an expert at absorbing all those evil lectins in your gut. In other words, glucosamine acts like a decoy agent, tricking the lectins into attacking him and keeping them far away from your gut wall. Number 3, rebalancing your gut. Now, you may have heard of something called probiotics before. Probiotics are good bacteria that live inside your gut and help fight off bad bacteria, as well as yeast, fungus, and candida, all of which can wreak havoc on your health. Ingredients that help to protect your own natural probiotic supply and help destroy the bad bacteria in your gut. One way we do this is with mushroom extract. Mushroom extract is one of the favorite foods of the good bacteria in your gut. It also tells your immune system to stay calm and relaxed, which is one reason why mushrooms have been used to boost immune health for centuries. Total Restore also contains cloves, which I call the ultimate immune booster. Why do I call it that? Because cloves are the most powerful antioxidant known to man. You see, in 2010, world-famous Tufts University in Boston released their updated listing of the most powerful antioxidants in the world. They used a complex process to determine which ones actually protected us from oxygen damage at the cellular level, meaning they had the power to boost immune system, improve skin, boost eyesight, improve heart health, and even boost memory and brain function. In short, antioxidants are one of the most important aspects of health, period. Well, Tufts tested every antioxidant known to man: turmeric, cocoa beans, even legendary acai berries. These berries scored 100,000 points on the antioxidant scale, good enough to make the top 10. But when they tested ground cloves, it crushed all other ingredients. with an antioxidant score of a whopping 314,000, the most powerful antioxidant by far. That was a mind-blowing result, and after the study was released, I began taking clove extract twice a day. It makes me feel great. If you're what I call a perfect non-lectin eater, meaning you eat absolutely no foods containing lectins or that release endotoxins, such as pasta, rice, potatoes, squash, peppers, sugar, sunflower seeds, peanuts, cashews, wheat, oats, corn, tomatoes, and over a dozen other lectin-rich foods, then you may truly be one of the few Americans who do not have leaky gut and already feeling the benefits of a healthy digestive system. However, if you, like most people, do eat these foods regularly, because again, they're basically unavoidable in our modern diet, then you very likely have been experiencing food cravings, fatigue, aches, pains, and myriad health issues for years. Please tell your friends and loved ones about the dangers of leaky gut on our bodies. As you know, it's one of the greatest threats to the health of Americans, and most people at risk have no idea that lectins and endotoxins are so directly linked to weight gain, low energy, and many other health problems. I've tried to do my part by creating this video. Now, we need to spread the word.